Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Research Roadshow. I just wanted to give a brief update on some of the developments in the Eugene Yu trial, and in particular, look at some of the news agencies that are not talking about Eugene Yu or his partner Lionel Nee, or the trial, or Seidel in general. Let's give a little bit of background. Some experts believe that we've been in a slow 48-year slide into medical tyranny, and medical tyranny is still tyranny. One person that might have argued that was Justice Antonino Scalia, the Supreme Court justice up until his untimely death a couple of years ago. Justice Scalia said many times that constitutional law and natural law are two completely different things. There is a small area of overlap. They are not mutually orthogonal, but he said that the Constitution, which is a living document and can fluctuate in view of under the influence of the political wind, the prevailing political wind, a phrase he used many times, is contrasted with natural law, which is immutable. So there were two things that Justice Scalia was worried about. One was the harmonization of European law with the US system of law, in particular the civil code. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The criminal code. And in this, his interest, his preoccupation was acute in the area of cybersecurity and cybercrime. So yesterday, the other thing that he was concerned about was I didn't even pull that up. The other area that Justice Scalia was concerned about was the area of public health law. And there's a double oxymoron in there. First of all, the public cannot be healthy. An individual of a species is healthy or less than healthy. The public is not healthy. The other oxymoron is public law. Okay, so Justice Scalia was very concerned about this harmonization of European law with American law and the process by which it was being carried out, starting with the Bologna process. Here we have yesterday, March 2nd, 2023, another news item that many news agencies did not pick up on, but Harry the Greek did. Justice Department and European Commission announces resumption of US and EU negotiations on electronic evidence in criminal investigations. The US Department of Justice and European Commission today announced the resumption of negotiations to facilitate access to electronic evidence. Officials from US Department of Justice, US Department of State, and European Commission plan to meet in Stockholm on the 15th and 16th. And Home Affairs senior officials meeting take place in Stockholm on the 16th and 17th. Okay, why is this important in light of the Eugene Yu trial? Well, and now I'm just going to give my personal opinion with my rudimentary knowledge of European law and comparative law, and my, again, even more rudimentary knowledge of American law. It looks to me, and this is just John Wilkins, not representing all of Research Roadshow, it looks to me like this is going to become a precedent. Whether or not Eugene Yu goes to jail, this will become a precedent for how cybersecurity issues, cyber crimes, will be investigated and policed and that the European Commission or some European element or agency will have jurisdiction over cyber crimes in California. They said, oh, John, that'll never happen. Well, what about the WHO? Doesn't it appear, again, thanks to George's and Harry the Greek's excellent reporting, it looks like the WHO over the past 30 years is slowly taking control over American health systems and health policy in many states. So this trial of Eugene Yu is very important. But nobody in Ohio or Michigan or in Georgia is talking about the Eugene Yu trial or about CITL. It's even more important. CITL controls, again, at the sake of repeating myself, CITL controls 80% of the elections in the world. And they say it on their homepage. Let's go for a second to what looks like a cute cat video, but it is extremely important. And George and Peter Duke brought this up a few months ago, but I want to emphasize, I'm going to underline it. Here we have a cat being laser pointed by a nature, driving his mother's nuts. Okay, with a laser pointer, you can do this. And George and Peter Duke made it possible to do the same using the media, not only the print media, not only the television media, but using Twitter and Facebook to do the same. They keep driving. You can drive that cat to the point of death. It's in the cat's nature to follow the bouncing beam. And it is in the nature of an adult human being to follow whatever he's been told or she has been told is important 10 times. If you have heard a phrase 10 times over a period of days, you just leave that. Why? They knew in 1916 that they had to prepare the young American male for war. They knew they were going to enter within 18 months. They were going to enter the war, so they had to start a propaganda machine. So they had to convince young men in America that what was important was stopping the Hun that was killing babies. And in that case, in 1916, they only had the print media. But it was effective. Today, they're laser pointing with very sophisticated tools. Let's go to how do we know this is important? I've only got one question. I've been talking about this for 4 months now. I communicated that the Eugene Yu trial is important to over 140 people in Ohio alone, and only one person in Ohio, she knows who she is, asked me, why, John? Why is this important? Let's look for a second. This is how I know that this is a very big deal, that the Eugene Yu trial is on the radar of some very important people worldwide. Let's look at Fox News. I'm going to pull up Fox News website. Actually, I'm going to use Google to search the Fox News website. And then I will plug in the name Eugene Yu. As you recall, I did this around Thanksgiving of this year of 2022, and I got quite a few results. Now there are only 4 results if you search for Eugene Yu on Fox News website. Okay, there might be other search engines that might give you 5 or 6 results, but according to Google, Fox News only has 4 cases, 4 mentions of Eugene Yu, and they all go back to 4 October, 5 October of last year. That tells me that this case is huge because Rupert Murdoch, the best friend of Bob Maxwell, super spy Bob Maxwell, is not interested in keeping the American people informed. I firmly believe that Rupert Murdoch is happy with Americans are uninformed. Let's take one more example. Okay, well first let's pull up a photo, because not everybody knows who Rupert Murdoch is. They know the name Hannity, but they don't know Rupert Murdoch. Okay, let's stop share for a minute here. And in a couple minutes, I'll get to my main point. All right, this is taken from the Twitter account of David Underdown. And here we have Rupert Murdoch on the right, and that's his 4th wife, Wendy, on the left. Rupert Murdoch, best friend of super spy Bob Maxwell. This gentleman does not, and I'm using the term gentleman in a very generous sense, does not really care about keeping you informed. And the best evidence for that is that this trial of Eugene Yu is not being talked about on Fox News. Eugene Yu trial is huge. I promise you, if you love your country and you love your kids or your nephews, please get the word out. Everyone needs to follow the Eugene Yu trial, which is not about one man and one company. It's about who has the authority to investigate and prosecute cyber crimes in California or in the United States in general. Please save this video, download it, get it out to as many people as you can, and tell them to ask me questions. Make me do my job. Force me to explain why this case is so important and why Justice Antonino Scalia would have been strongly opposed to the changes in legal superstructure that this case might imply. Tune in 20 minutes if you're watching live. In 20 minutes, we have Protecting the Nest with Carol McIntosh, Amber Connor, and Tara Starr. And at 3 o'clock, we have the great Wendy Sloan, who will talk about medical hypnosis, a very important topic in all of this. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you at noon.